1, 2, 3, but neither of those cars have pitted, which I think is a pretty poor decision because they're only, they're 29 laps in now, so they can't have much more fuel in the tank. And the same is the case for Devlin DiFrancesco running fourth. And then we jump back to Harvey and DK and Rahal, who did pit earlier, so they still have a few laps remaining in that tank.
And it doesn't look like that Scott Dixon's crew is happy with the status of that left rear. We talked about it earlier. He's on the pit lane right now, Rob Blackman.
Yeah, and right now this pit stop is 30 seconds plus, and that's because they are changing out the rear brakes and rear brake calipers as well. So this is going to be a very lengthy stop for the 2008 Indy 500 winner.
Very, very soon, Kristen area, you'll see Rossi, Rasmussen, Carpenter, DiFrancesco, and Harvey, the top 5 headed your way.
The 3 ECR cars are at the front of the field, and it is Alexander Rossi, a former winner, won as a rookie. He will lead the field to the green flag here at IMS.
Pace car is off, and the green flag flies as they cross the yard of bricks. They stay single file, but now all of a sudden, Christian Rasmussen jumps out and goes too wide.
He'll jump to the outside of his teammate Alexander Rossi and take the lead. Meanwhile, they're going 3 and 4 wide at the mid-pack up front. It's clean, but Michael A. Hornets nets about 10th on back.
The Ed Carpenter trio will lead this field out, and further back it's Takuma Sato and Marcus Erickson. They're trying to make their way through the field. They're fresh off a pit stop, already to the 7th position.
Everybody on the north end comes to their feet as they watch that trio of Ed Carpenter cars up front, but it's Sato that just worked his way around Renus BK. So now Takuma Sato on the charge, but the leader's in 4.
It is Rasmussen leading his teammates. It's still the front 3, the ECR machines.
From below, but right now it's single file into turn number 1.
And important to point out, Scott Dixon is still on pit lane. He has now gone 2 laps down, but it's Christian Rasmussen, your leader in the short chute.
Everything else settling down. Christian Rasmussen, your leader. His teammate Alexander Rossi second. Then Carpenter, DiFrancesco, Jack Harvey. They are your top 5 halfway down the back straightaway.
Things settling down just a little bit now. Those ECR cars, Java House and Splenda, the sponsor right now, Energy, and things looking oh so sweet for Christian Rasmussen, second-year driver, the leader into 4.
Yeah, they are single file as they exit the short chute on the north end of the track. Rasmussen the lead, Rossi behind, another 10-car lengths back to Carpenter.
If you go back in the field to about the 22nd starting position, that's where you will find Joseph Newgarden, and he is flat flying now as he crosses the yard of bricks, Anders Strode. Joseph Newgarden's on rail.
Yeah, and Graham Rahal has been dropping back like an absolute rock. Keep in mind, he's on those much older tires than those who pitted right behind him, so he has just been falling back. But yeah, to your point, Joseph Newgarden soaring through the field.
Joseph Newgarden has picked up a couple of more spots since the green flag flew. He's plus about 8 on the day, and he's moving forward, but he's doing so in a measured manner.
Yeah, I tell you, this was one of the most hectic open or restarts I've ever seen in IndyCar Indianapolis 500 history, as we have a battle here for the lead.
Going to turn 1 to Nick Yeoman.
It's going to be Alexander Rossi who will pass his teammate Christian Rasmussen. So it's still Ed Carpenter racing 1, 2, 3 with Rossi out front, Michael, into turn 2.
They're going to have to pit any time now as this fuel stint running long for this team. All 3 of the Ed Carpenter cars leaves this field. It's Alexander Rossi, 2 coming to the Rasmussen.
Deja vu all over again. Last time we had this kind of a massive grandstand sellout. Alexander Rossi was the winner in 2016. Now the lead in front of a sellout crowd in turn number 4.
10th race for Rossi. Again, that winner during his rookie year. 4th last year, and about a 4-car length advantage on his teammate.
Front 4 cars have yet to pit Nick Yeoman, Rossi, Rasmussen, Carpenter, and Devlin DiFrancesco.
And that means that the driver that's in the catbirds to take over the race lead is going to be Takuma Sato. He watches the front 5. Mike
in the Catbird seat. Rossi still 2 car lengths over his teammates.
So let's peek in on Takuma Sato and the battle there, because that is in fact for the de facto lead once everybody has to pit. He's got Renus BK behind him and then Connor Daly behind Sato.
Sato is in 6th position, and he's got Jack Harvey in front of him. And the leaders in front of you, Mark.
Sato and BK last pitted on lap number 7, Nick Yeoman.
Yep, there's no doubt about it. Takuma Sato going to inherit the lead. For now, he will watch. A little bit further back, we see a pass. Marcus Erickson just got to the inside. He'll slip in front of David Malukas just inside the top 10.
You might wonder if Ed Carpenter Racing's trying to cut out a pit stop in this Indianapolis 500. Maybe Dick Query, that's why they're going so long in this first stint.
And right now, into turn at number 3. Looking pretty strong. It is Rasmussen with Rossi just behind her. Excuse me, Rossi now. Rasmussen, then Ed Carpenter out of turn number 3.
Yeah, Rossi's lead is about 5 or 6 car lengths as he exits turn number 4. Then Rasmussen and teammate Carpenter 1, 2, 3.
Just saw David Malukas make a nice run. He picked up a spot on Marcus Ericsson. There's a battle for the lead into wide.
Yep, Alexander Rossi went to the outside, and he let Christian Rasmussen have the inside line. So the driver from Denmark back out front into 2.
You almost wonder that these teammates are trying to help each other save a little fuel. It's Rossi running in that second position as again Christian Rasmussen back out front with the lead.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Michael, because they're just kind of rotating right now, those front 3. The most concerning thing may be the fact that running fourth, Devlin DiFrancesco wants to get up there and play with that front trio.
And again, those cars have not yet made a pit stop, but it's still 1, 2, 3, the 3 ECR machines here in Indy.
And let's go to pit lane, Alex Wolf.
And I can confirm what the turn announcers are saying. These ECR cars are trading lead, trying to help themselves with fuel, with Rasmussen taking that lead from Rossi. And I just heard on the 21 radio the number 10 being mentioned. Not sure if that was a fuel code or how many laps until the 21 car is going to come in, Ryan Marine.
On the other side of the fuel equation, Felix Rosenquist was just told, don't worry about your fuel number. We need track position. Felix Rosenquist has been let off the leash.
Updates from the pits brought to you by Shell, the official fuel of the NTT IndyCar Series. Anders, when our guys out on the turns pointing out the thinking of Ed Carpenter Racing and ECR with that fuel strategy, you nodded in approval, perhaps?
Well, no, I in disapproval, actually. I think it was a poor decision. Yes, they are leading some laps here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and you should not discount that. But you always want to take advantage of when the pace is slow on track, that's when you lose the least amount of time in the pits. And I think everyone else except for them and DiFrancesco took the opportunity to stop. And, you know, within a handful of laps or so, they're going to have to stop. And that means they're going to drop all the way to the back of the field. So not exactly sure, you know, what their thinking is here. Maybe I'm wrong. But from my perspective, yeah, they probably should have taken that opportunity to pit because Takuma Sato is the de facto leader on the number 1 strategy. He's running 6th. And then Harvey, who pitted on lap 6 or lap 7, he is the leader on the 2nd strategy.
Battle for the lead into one.
Hey, Christian Rasmussen is going to watch his teammate, the winner of the 100th 500, retake the race lead into turn number 1. Alexander Rossi darts his way out of the first corner.
Working lap 40 of 200, and Alexander Rossi will reassume that lead. A car length advantage over his teammate Christian Rasmussen, and then team owner Ed Carpenter running at the third.
You know, it's interesting. When people ask how we do this out of the turns, we're so reliant on one another to know exactly what's happening. Very important right now, Chris, because those front 2 nearly identical. It's Rossi's turn up front.
Yeah, Rossi has a little bit of the gray tone in that Java House machine, a little light blue. He's got the lead by 3 car lengths.
So it's Rossi, Rasmussen, Carpenter, DiFrancesco, and Harvey back to 1.
And Takuma Sato again watches those front 5 try to stretch their fuel tank for everything they have during this opening run. Rossi still leads them at a 1.
Takuma Sato still in that 6th position, content at least for now. Alexander Rossi 3 car lengths over Rasmussen, again Carpenter, DiFrancesco, Jack Harvey. They're your top 5.
Alexander Rossi came into this event having led 93 laps all time at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Going to add to that now as they rotate their way through. He leads Rasmussen by about 5 car lengths into turn number 3.
And that advantage stays there as he exits turn number 4. Down along the white line. The lead for Rossi extended to about 10 car lengths.
Thought Ericsson and Pillow might get interested. That's a little bit farther back, but Anders, right now, things starting to sort themselves out a bit.
Yeah, they are a bit, and I think everyone's kind of being careful with the fuel consumption here. So just trying to figure out how far they can go. And obviously, so far, we're on lap have yet to pit, so it's incredible how much less fuel is burned when they're running under full course yellow, and it'd be interesting to see how many more laps they're able to squeeze out.
18 laps at caution, that obviously figures into that math.
Yeah, for sure, but at this point in time, running out front, you're going to burn a lot of fuel, so I'm still confused as to why they didn't pit at the last opportunity, but maybe they have some tools that we don't have up here to see that this is actually going to benefit them longer into the race.
Alex Pillow was finally able to work his way around Marcus Ericsson. Front 5, some pretty good separation, and we look pretty far back in the field. And it's interesting to note, Anders, that at this point the separation's pretty good. Although Nick Yeoman, Joseph Newgarden's making a move on Robert Schwartzman.
Yep, and he'll make that pass to get around the pole sitter who had a slow pit stop towards the rear of the field. 20th position, Michael, now belongs to Joseph Newgarden.
And Joseph Newgarden starting to eye that rear wing of Kyle Kirkwood. Kirkwood said he had a great car today, but now under attack by Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, Newgarden has been very, very racy, and in the north end, he has preferred the upper line. Right now, he keeps it down to the bottom of the racetrack. About 6 car lengths to make up. Goes high again, trying to reel in Kyle Kirkwood.
Yeah, so that means he has made up 12 positions. He started 32nd. Now in the top 20 is Joseph Newgarden.
And it is time for ECR to come to pit lane, Anders.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So now they're going to drop to the very back of the field. And the goal here with this pit stop is to not go a lap down.
Rob Blackman.
Alexander Rossi, in my view, as he makes his first pit stop, 43 laps in, the race leader with a pretty good stop here. Away with the two fresh Firestones, 7.5 seconds for Alexander Rossi.
Alex Wolf.
Christian Rasmussen came in, a little bit of trouble with the air jack on that pit stop. 4 sticker tires, Shell fuel, 8.5 seconds for the 21.
Updates from the pit brought to you by Shell, the official fuel of the NTT IndyCar Series. So we're now awaiting Ed Carpenter, Jack Harvey, and Rita's VK.
Yeah, well, Ed Carpenter, exactly. But Jack Harvey, he can go quite a few laps longer because he pitted on lap 7.
Rob Blackman.
Ed Carpenter awaiting him to come into my view again, one of the very last to make that first pit stop of the day, and here he comes. Ed Carpenter, no changes to the front wing. Firestone Firehawks, 4 brand new ones going on. Fuel is on. The windshield tear off down and away. Ed Carpenter, not a great stop, 9.38 seconds.
So Jack Harvey leads the field out of turn number 4 with Takuma Sato in tow. The lead is 1.1 seconds now as they get back to the start-finish line. Jack Harvey with our driver analyst Davey Hamilton on the pit card. Let's go to turn number 1.
And they're racing into turn number 1, and Rena's VK just went side by side with Connor Daly. Daly had a big moment, Michael. He had to check up.
Yeah, definitely DiFrancesco had a moment when he left pit lane, left rear, got in the grass. A nice save for him. But Jack Harvey trying to make his way through this field. He'll lead into 3.
All of this, of course, will be for the de facto lead once Jack Harvey, for example, has to pit. Now it's Takuma Sato, as Sato has Ed Carpenter just behind him. They work their way into 4.
Jack Harvey making the move from TV back to the racetrack. He's out of turn 4 in that bright green number 24 machine.
And Jack Harvey comes to the yard of bricks. He has a lead of about 0.8 of a second as they head back to 1.
Yep, and the driver that is stalking him is Takuma Sato. He'll be about 4 to 5 car lengths behind Harvey in that green and black Chevrolet into turn 2.
Jack Harvey about 6 laps to the positive on fuel with Takuma Sato right behind him. Said he had a great race car. He'll dive really low down that back straightaway, almost touching that white line.
Jack Harvey absolutely knows that Takuma Sato is in pursuit because Sato is right there in his rear view mirror, right in the tracks. Takuma Sato trying to close in on Jack Harvey.
Jack Harvey in the Dreyer and Reinbold Cusick Motorsports machine. He'll veer off. He'll head to pit lane. That leaves it to Takuma Sato.
And you go a little further back, Nick Yeoman. Pretty good battle between Rena's VK and Connor Daly. You've been watching.
Yeah, they've been racing like it's the last lap. Renas is on that alternate strategy. He'll have to pit soon. Michael, how about Connor Daly? He's up to second. Let's go to Rich Nye. He's to stop at Jack Harvey.
Jack Harvey in and out in 8 seconds. A good stop for the Dreyer and Reinbold Racing Cusick Motorsports number 24 neon green and black car. He started 26th all the way up to first when he came to the pit road. This team obviously only runs in Indianapolis, and they're off to a good run today.
And Anders, you see Graham Rahal making his way to the pit box.
Yeah, finally, and he's been dropping back like a rock. And finally, for him, he gets a set of new tires and some Shell fuel in that car. I bet he's happy with that. As Rena's VK is now headed to pit lane. He did 40 laps on that tank of fuel.
And that includes all of those caution laps that we did earlier.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So he had a turn at the front here. Now he's peeling off into the pits. And again, the goal for him is to not go a lap down. The fate that struck Ed Carpenter, that is so difficult. And now Ed Carpenter is going to be fighting like absolute, like the last lap of his life to get this lap undone.
47 laps complete, and that gives the lead back to Takuma Sato, and his race car has looked strong all throughout the first quarter of this race.
It looks super strong, and so strong, in fact, that he's actually catching the cars that have just pitted of Alexander Rossi, Christian Rasmussen, and Devlin DiFrancesco. So I think those guys are going to be on full power now, making sure that he can't lap them, because then you're in a spot of trouble.
47 laps complete. Let's give you the full field rundown. Takuma Sato is your leader. Connor Daly is second. Rena's VK is third. David Malukas is fourth. Alex Pillow is fifth. Santino Ferrucci is sixth. Seventh, Pato Award. Seventh, Marcus Erickson. Check that. 8th, Marcus Erickson. 9th is Callum Eilot. 10th is Colton Herta. Felix Rosenquist, 11th. Louis Foster is 12th. Elio Castro Neves is 13th. Kyle Kirkwood is 14th. Joseph Newgarden is 15th. Robert Schwartzman, 16th. Stingray Robb, 17th. 18th, Christian Lundgaard. 19th, Kiffin Simpson. 20th, Will Power. 21st, Nolan Siegel. 22nd, Hunter Ray. 23rd, Marcus Armstrong. 24th, Kyle Larson. 25th, Jack Harvey. 26th, Devlin DiFrancesco. Alexander Rossi, 27th. Christian Rasmussen, 28th. Ed Carpenter, a lap down in 29th. Graham Rahal listed as 30th. 3 laps down in 31st is Scott Dixon. Out of the race, Marco Andretti, 32nd. Scott McLaughlin, 33rd at the 109th Indianapolis 500, presented by Gainbridge.
Are you the ultimate fan? Join the IndyCar Nation Fan Club for exclusive access to all things IndyCar. Find it at IndyCarNation.indycar.com.
At Firestone, we build tires for getting you out there. Durable tires for ticking off mile markers and for getting to your seats on time.
Start your engines.
Dependable tires for kicking up dirt or for passing on the outside. Hard-working tires for racing 500 miles and the side hustle that affords you